So hello guys, my name is Alexio. I'm going to be showing you guys how to use this app right here. It's called the Vex library. And before I start, I want to show you what things you can make with this Vex library. So everything what we're going to do is going to be in assembly. So instead of having a bunch of parts right here where you have to individually import your parts, like this, right, which is very time consuming, we have this new app. It's called the Vex library, where it automatically is it already has a catalog of all the parts that we have, right? So here's something that you guys can make with this app right here in assembly. So to start off, go to a new document and rename it something like Vex 6 motor chassis. And we're not going to be using the part studio. We're going to be in assembly. So once you're in assembly, right, your assembly should be blank. And then what you want to do is click here on the Vex V5 library. So for me, it's already in here, right? You guys should already have this in your Enterprise account. So, but once you do click it, it's going to ask you click confirm or something. So just quickly do that. And the first thing where we're going to start off is how to use the Vex V5 library. So once you've done all the, once you press confirm, right? Your thing should now look like this, right? So how do we use it, right? So right here, it basically tells you all the stuff where it's grouped into. For example, all the gears are right here, and just click the plus icon and it shows you all the different gears. So we have all the gears here, or 90% of it, right? So we have everything that you see here, as well as every electronic right here, right? Ta-da! And then, so you basically, since everything's grouped up, say, just find something where your part may be in, and just click the plus, right? Or just click on the, tab itself, right? So another thing that's you can do here is you can cut parts here. So here's an example. So we're going to deal with a lot of C channels. So we're going to click structure, right? And say there is a we need to use a C channel, right? So this C channel is configurable. So we click plus again, and then say we want a C channel with a length that is 12.5 inches, right? 12.5 inches. Oops. 12.5 inches, and the channel type. So these are all the different size C channels we have. So I'll do an example. So here's the one that we most commonly use is the 1x2x1 aluminum. Here's how it looks like. So once you got all this, all the settings filled in, just click insert to part studio, right? So it's okay, there you go. So it's already been inserted. So once you insert, the thing should automatically reset back to the home page here. So here's the two parts that I created using the Vex parts library. So right, so I clicked it twice, so it got me two, right? So it automatically cuts them to length. So if we check the size, so I'm click here, and then I'm going to click here. The size should be 12.5 inches. So if you want a custom length of C channel, you can place it there. And another thing that's really good is, I'm going to delete this and then fix that, is you can basically add screws in it, screws with nuts already inside them. So here's an example. So if I'm going to go to here, bearings, colors, and inserts, and I'm going to click the flat bearing. So there's a flat bearing with screws already in it. So I'm going to click on it, screw configuration. Let's go just do default for now, and then bolt orientation, let's go do default as well. And then if I insert to assembly, right, it should summon at or it should be inserted in the origin. So if you can't find your part, look for the dot. So it already has this bearing, right, with screws already in them, and this gap right here is basically the same gap right here, right? So it's the same thickness as the metal. So all we have to do is press insert, grab the middle one, click on the center, and then insert it anywhere where we want to. So right now, as you can tell, it's flipped, right? So we're going to flip it, right? And it should automatically fix everything, right? So you can flip, right? using this right here, flip, and you can rotate objects around. So once it's the right orientation, just click check, and basically now you basically have a bearing, right? That's already attached to a C channel. So this will save you a lot of time, just because it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts. So instead of fastening each one of those parts, all you have to do is fasten once, right? And here's another thing that you guys may like is, again, I'm going to click bearings, colors, inserts, right? There's going to be like a lot more stuff here that you guys can use right here. And another thing that's cool is if you're going to go down, and then if you're going to go to it has a search feature here. So I'm having a hard time finding shaft collars, not shaft collars, but like I'm having a hard time finding a specific part, right? So I don't know, I can't find it. I don't know where it is. You can just search it up, right? So here I'm going to search down, collars, right there, right? Collars, right? Boom, it's already here, right? As well as standoffs. So I need to find a standoff, right? It's right here, spacers and standoffs, right? You can use this to search for your items. So, ta-da. And then another cool feature is standoffs as well. Standoffs has a feature where you can add screws into them as well. So I'm going to click on it and then say 1 inch screw 1. So when it means screw 1, it means this one, right? So 1 extrusion, right? And then screw 2 offset, right? Just keep it 0, we don't need it. Screw 2, we put down true, so it's that bottom one. So we say yes, there's a bottom one. And then it's through just 1, there's the default, and then custom 0. And when I insert to assembly, right? So wait for a bit. Right, there we go. It's summoned. And then as you can see, it created this gap already, and it's the same thickness as this. So this is very useful, right? A very useful tool, because even though you may not want to have screws in your building or on your CAD assembly, it's good to have screws, so people who do look at it, they know like, oh, I need this much amount of screws or this length of screws. So it's a really good habit to include screws and nuts in your CAD assembly. And if you're trying to figure out where can I find screws and nuts, it's right here. And the screws and nuts, that's all the separate type ones. The majority of the time, we're going to use this here, this nylon nut, right? And we're also going to use nylon nut and screw itself. Nylon nut and the screw. This screw right here, the star drive screw. So these are the 2 ones we're going to use. So all of these ones are all the screws that we have. So the ones that so they're already pre-cut to size. And if you're wondering what these numbers mean, these are all in inches. So 1/4 of an inch, 3/8 of an inch. So 1/4 of an inch is 0.25 of an inch. And you can tell they're inches is because of you got those quotation marks, right? So those quotation marks indicate the dealings of inches. So in this practice, I'll do 2 inches and insert to studio. I'll wait a bit and everything should spawn right there, right? So we have this screw right here, right? I'm just gonna move it around, right? And then this nut right here. So another thing that you guys can do with this Part Studio, say if you want to use a custom gear, right? Say I have this gear and I say insert to Part Studio, right? Right? You can't really modify this gear in the assembly, right? So I say here, I say edit in context. I can't edit to context. I'm not authorized. But what you can do is you can go to a Part Studio, right? And then you can get a gear or any part and you can insert it in the Part Studio. And this is very powerful, right? So once it's inserted, right here, ta-da, you guys can modify it right here. So here's what I mean by modify. So I'm going to select this plane and then I'm going to select this rectangle, right? Say we're making like a system where we don't really need a certain part of the gear, right? We only need 3/4 of the gear, right? So we need to cut off this section right here. So you guys can sketch, you know, a drawing, and then basically you can extrude it out, right? So boom, extrude it out, right? So you can modify any part through the Part Studio if you insert it in a Part Studio, right? So boom, right here, ta-da, it's been cut, right? So if you want to modify anything here, right, insert in a Part Studio, not in assembly, right? So now you want to include this part into your assembly, and simple as go to insert, right? So you want this part specifically into your assembly, right? What you're gonna do is you're gonna press insert, and it should automatically here in a Part Studio, and say Part Studio 1. So whatever you name it, it's gonna appear here. So I'm just gonna click on it, and ta-da, there we go. There's our modified screw right there. You guys can play around as well to experience, or yeah, to basically experience all the stuff that this Vex A5 parts library offers. Here's sprockets and chains. These ones are pretty good as well, right? This one you can experiment, right? So you guys can experiment with this one as well. So this basically means configurable 9p loops, high strength chain loop. So basically, say you want to make a certain chain, right? So this one, experiment with this one, but I'll give you an example how this one works. So this one means the first gear. So small sprocket means the first gear or first sprocket. So which is 12. The other one, it can be anything. I'm just gonna put down 12 as well. The maximum distance between the centers of the sprocket. So these are sprockets. Let's go say 6 inches, and when I insert it, it's automatically going to create a chain, right, where the 12 teeth sprockets can fit into, right? So there we go. Ta-da! So there we go, right there. So these dots, right, these fasten mates, that's where it is. This chain indicates where the chain is, right? So we can do another example as well. Sprocket, configurable 6p loop, da-da-da. Again, we do 8, 8, and then insert right there. So I insert this one. So this one worked properly. I don't know why this one didn't work properly. I'm just gonna delete it. But what it should do is create a chain all around your thing, right? So if I search up sprocket, oops, I spelled it wrong. Sprocket and chain, so like this, right? Sprocket again. Let's go find, I'm pretty sure it was the 8 teeth sprocket I inserted, right? You guys can tell that it is the same size. So here's what I mean, same size. So let me move this object right here. So if I go here and I go to fasten mate, that's at the center. So if I go here, right, and then find the center of this baby, ta-da, right? So I cannot find the center of this, right? Let's go do a different example. Does this have a center? Do you have a center? So these ones do not have a center, but basically you guys can fasten the sprocket into that, because there's that origin right there. So ta-da. So I'm just gonna fasten it here, then right there as an example, and then I'm going to offset by, it looks like 0.2. Let's go to 0.15. There we go. That looks about right. 0.25. There we go. Right. So basically, this sprocket lines up. So as you can see, it's kind of like, you know, the sprocket teeth does not line up with the holes. To be honest, that's an aesthetic thing. You don't have to change that, right? But as long as you have the representation of your model, right, it looks like correct, like this, you should be fine. But if you do want to change it, just go to your sprocket itself, edit, right? You can edit it like its properties, not properties, my bad. You're just gonna edit its fasten mate right here. So my bad. So you edit its fasten mate, and then you're gonna do rotate, right? So I want to rotate it this way. So I rotate it in the x-axis. So that may be kind of weird, but imagine where the line is, and then you're rotating where the line is from. It's not from the axis, it's about the x-axis. So this one is going to be 25 degrees, right? So, oops, maybe say Z. So it was Z, my bad. So boom, there we go. So rotate about the Z-axis, so rotate as it's the axis. So there we go. So now it looks more correct, right? Just play with it, animate it. You can also animate stuff here, right? So just mess around with this app right here, and that's pretty much it.